Why hello there, my name is Kevin from the show, Ed, Edd and Eddy, and I am a fucking bully who likes to pick on the three Eds all the motherfucking time, or should I say the three dorks, since that's what I constantly call them in the show when I get annoyed with them or something they do. I am a stereotypical jock and a hot-headed asshole who constantly loses his temper at every little thing even when the situation I am getting angry over does not warrant it. And pretty much every time I do lose my temper, my default response is to attempt to inflict physical harm on the individuals responsible for said actions regardless of if it's justified in the slightest, as opposed to doing something mature such as, oh I don't know, actually trying a diplomatic approach like a person who is over the age of 2. Now to be fair, the most common targets of my rage, the Eds, are conniving jerks save perhaps Double D, and I do have reason to be annoyed with their constant attempts to scam everyone. However, even so, this does not warrant the physical violence I often attempt to inflict and succeed at inflicting on them in the show, and if anything the fact that I constantly do this just shows I am worse than them. And if you don't believe me, just think about it. If the Eds hurt people it isn't intentional, and while Eddy doesn't seem to care and Ed is too out of it to care, at least Double D does actually show remorse for what he does wrong. However, in my case, when I inflict physical or other types of harm on someone it is almost always intentional, and worse still, I never show even the slightest bit of remorse for anything I do, which just proves I am notably worse than the three Eds could ever hope to be. Besides my obsession with physical violence, I also am obsessed with my bike, which in an ironic twist of fate looks more dorkish than any of the three Eds, and if anyone so much as looks at it incorrectly I threaten them with physical violence, since this seems to be the only way I can react to anything which does wrong in my life. Why do I do this, you ask? Well, it's because, besides myself of course, it is the thing I am most in love with in this world, and of course, since this is a text-to-speech-based video, I am pretty much obligated to state that I like to shove it up my ass like a dildo, despite the fact that I never actually do this in the show. And of course, despite the fact that I don't even do this, I still have to say that when I shove it in myself it sounds like a ha 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 using the bike chain oil as lubricant ha 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 taking the chain off the bike to engage in bondage sex ha 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 get on the unique bike ha 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 I have no hair and look like a frigging skinhead, which now that I think about it actually explains a lot, since like me most of them are degenerates who think physical violence is the answer to everything soy 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 bag. That was choice. Anyways, as hinted at earlier, I also really hate Eddy, because he constantly tries to scam me, and because I don't know how to rationally think I keep falling for his scams over and over again. This of course makes me so mad that I am too foolish to recognize when I am being scammed again, and as a result I always get super angry at Eddy in part as a defense mechanism, because it directs attention away from me and my follies. Granted, Eddy is an asshole and I should not be expected to like him, but even so my hatred for Eddy goes well beyond what is reasonable, and in some cases is downright sociopathic in its nature. An example of this can be found in the episode you read here. I find Eddy's wallet on the ground and learn that his middle name is Skipper. Upon learning I know his middle name, Eddy begins panicking and begs me not to tell anyone, and instead of obliging like a decent human being, I instead use this as an excuse to blackmail Eddy and force him to give his cash from his latest scam over to me. However, I want more, so I force Eddy to engage in various additional humiliating tasks such as kissing Double D and act like a seal and do tricks for fish. And then, after Eddy does everything I tell him to without complaint and I get a substantial number of laughs at his expense, I still fucking tell everyone his middle name and further humiliate him anyways, which just goes to show I am at best an asshole who has considerable sadistic tendencies and doesn't even try to repress them. And this is not the only time I have acted in such a sociopathic manner towards Eddy in the show ever, as perhaps the even more disturbing episode Smile for the Ed. In this episode it is school picture day, and all Eddy wants is to take a good yearbook picture for once in his school career. However, it goes awry, because I called Eddy the unoriginal insult dork, causing him to flinch when his picture gets taken, and then, once I discovered how much I fucked up Eddy's picture by obtaining a copy of it Eddy attempted to dispose of, I quickly began to distribute it around the school to humiliate Eddy. Eventually, someone even rigs a copy machine to constantly make prints of the bad photos so the whole school will know, and while the episode does not confirm or deny whether I was responsible for this, it is likely I was, since who else would stoop that low to humiliate Eddy, and even if I wasn't I still was responsible for the initial wave of distribution, which made the reprinting possible. And worst of all, when Double D tries to give Eddy another attempt at taking the photo, I come in and ruin it again, clearly not satisfied with the humiliation and social isolation I have already inflicted on Eddy and instead desiring to run him into the ground even more. These examples show that I am a sociopathic asshole, and the worst type of them too, as I actually practice my sociopathy instead of trying, even slightly, to repress it, and prove once and for all that I am a far worse character than Eddy, or even the Kanker sisters, could ever hope to be. This is why I fail, and I have no friends and no real girlfriend despite the fact that Naz is into me, because as the big picture shows I'm too in love with my bike, and must make a blowj of myself. And furthermore, despite me not actually doing this, the law of own videos dictate that I must now list a bunch of random, inanimate objects I supposedly make love to. So here goes: bicycles, 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 motorcycles, unicycles, tricycles, bicycles, decks of bicycle cards, mopeds, bicycle pumps, bicycle chains, bicycle parts, bicycle spokes, bicycle wheels, bicycle stores, and motherfucking jawbreakers, which I stole from Eddy and shove up my ass as a trophy of the incident. And when I supposedly make a sexy time with each thing, it goes like a ha 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 ha. It is better than me, a ha 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 ha. Double D is better than me, a ha 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 ha. Eddy is better than me, though admittedly not by as much as the other two. Ha 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 ha. Johnny and his inanimate object plank are better than me. Ha 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 ha. Sarah is not better than me, but the uploader also hates her, so this might be biased to ha 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 ha. Soy 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 bag. That was swallow. Well, anyways, now I have to go to my room and jerk off to my bike, because I am literally that in love with it. So see you later. And wait just a minute. Who the Haitian era is that individual who is approaching me at a high rate of speed and is wearing a cap and shirt and holding the gazelle? Oh my fucking god! It's Tony Little.
Yes, it is I, Tony Little, America's personal trainer. Inventor of the S-Master 4000, leader of the Wishbone Resistance, and master of evisceration. Speaking of the Wishbone Resistance, I have brought all of them along with me today to own you. Let's see them.
Hello, I'm Wishbone, from the TV show with the same name I have. Prepare to get beaten up so you know what it's like to be on the receiving end of physical violence, Kevin.
Hello, my name is Miss Angel Paws, the school teacher of Benjamin Stilton, and the mistress of evisceration. Prepare for me to crush you under all those copies of Eddy's school photo you made, Kevin.
And last but not least, hello, my name is Rainbow Dash. The most recent addition to the Wishbone Resistance after Jard from the Subway commercials was kicked out for being a creator and distributor of child pornography, among other things. Prepare for me to make your embarrassing middle name 20% more known, so you know the humiliation Eddy did when you shared his name, before I sonic random you into submission.
Okay, that's everyone, and every pony, out of the way. Actually screw that, I'm just going to say everybody, because saying every pony is awkward. But anyways, Kevin, I have seen how you treat Eddy in the show titled Ed, Edd and Eddy, and how you get a sick enjoyment out of humiliating him so you can get laughs at his expense, and how you physically injure him on multiple occasions, and I am not about to just sit back and do nothing about it.
So what? Eddy is an asshole, and he constantly tries to scam people for his own personal gain and doesn't respect anyone in the cul de sac, including but not limited to his own friends. He fucking deserves it.
Okay, first of all, no he doesn't, because, while he is a jerk, what he does not even begin to compare with the physical violence you constantly inflict on him in pretty much every episode. And the only thing you suggesting otherwise is succeeding at is making me super pissed off, to the level where I wish nothing more than to eviscerate the ever-loving shit out of you, figuratively speaking. However, I am bound by the good guy code, and thus, despite my intense loathing of you, Kevin, I am obligated to give you a chance to change your ways and become a decent person, so here goes. Are you going to stop resorting to physical violence every time someone pisses you off and attempting to ruin Eddy's life every time you get a chance? Or do I need to end you?
Fuck you. I wish to continue using the same barbaric and sadistic approach towards Eddy when he scams me instead of even trying diplomacy, and if you dare to get in my way, I'm just going to have to pound you into submission.
Oh, I think you got who will be pounding who rung up. Who's the dork now? How does it feel to be on the receiving end of this shit, Kevin? Miss Angel pauses within you with her rat tail like Rainbow Dash is slapping you with her Pegasus. Wings like smack 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 smack. Wishbone is pissing on your leg like piss. And now he is biting you, so you scream like you're roundhouse kicking you like. And now we are breaking your bike, and not breaking like you do when you get the brakes, but breaking in the sense of rooting it like clang 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 clang. Wow, you're crying, so something can actually upset you. Well, I think we've proven our point, so we'll stop after one more beg. That was a lesson learned. There, we have now beaten you up, so after all that, still think Eddy deserves to be treated this way?
Oh, no. No, I do not. That really hurt. And seeing as how I have done this to Ed, Edd and Eddy for many episodes, especially over minor things most of the time, I think I have some apologies I need to give.
Good, you get to doing that. It's good you learned your lesson. But just so we're clear, don't you ever beat up Ed, Edd and Eddy again, or another one of those will be coming your way.
Okay, I got the point, Tony. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go get about those apologies.
Good, you get about doing that then. Point. Well, anyways, it looks like another boutful bowling has been stopped, thanks to the wishbone resistance, but if any more bullies start causing trouble, just let us know, and we'll put a stop to it right away. But anyways, we gotta go now. I want to believe Kevin has learned his lesson, but just to make sure he doesn't try anything funny, I am going to watch him, as he apologizes to the Eds, and then, after he's done, I'll give them my number so just in case he causes shit I'll be the first to know, as well as giving them an easy way to contact me, if they want to buy a Gazelle. And speaking of the Gazelle, buy the Gazelle or else I will make the most annoying sound ever from Dumb and Dumber in your ear non-stop, until you agree to buy one. But anyways, I and the rest of the wishbone resistance really gotta go. Goodbye.